Hello, well, welcome to our house. We've lived here for some years. We were flooded in 2000 and again 2003, and subsequently over that time we've learnt how to adapt our house so that we are less troubled by the flooding. The house doesn't get damaged, we don't need to make insurance claims, we don't need to move out, and we don't throw anything away. This is the kitchen. When we flooded in 2000 we replaced the wooden floor, but when we flooded again in 2003 and the floor buckled for the second time, we decided to go for stone, and that's what you can see here and indeed throughout the ground floor of the house. We're quite lucky because the floor slopes down a bit in this direction, and so any water coming in around the sides of the walls, which is what it does, goes down through this hole here in this little metal grid, and underneath here is a sump which pumps the water straight outside. This room was flooded yesterday. By the time we're here today, the water's gone, but we thought we'd show you a sort of a simulated flood using this hose pipe to show you what happens when the flood water runs across the floor. Most people probably wouldn't do this in their kitchen, water it with a hose pipe, but you will see that the water will run across towards the grid there now. We're quite happy to do this. There it goes. Can you hear it now? It's going down the hole. We can spray it around the floor. We're not worried because it won't do any harm at all. And as it just filled up a bit, it'll go down that thing, emerging into the garden outside. The plinths, which are over there, have been removed. We always take those off before the flood, and they go clip back on very easily afterwards. The units are on plastic legs, which is absolutely standard for kitchen units, so they don't get damaged. Accompanying that, the electrical circuits are raised up, and as you can see, the fridge here, the dishwasher on the other side, they're all up off the ground. The skirting board is just off the floor deliberately. There's a gap, as you can see. I can run my penknife blade under there. That so as any water that comes in can flow easily into the room and down the drain, so to speak. The skirting board itself is painted all round, back and underneath, with a couple of coats of gloss paint before it went on. And as you can see, this has been flooded a month ago and again just yesterday, and it's completely unscathed. There's no warping, it's not coming away from the wall, and it won't either. The plaster here looks damp, it is damp, but the interesting thing is it's not, the paint is barely flaking. This is an old-fashioned piece of lime plaster, which is what this house would have been plastered with originally. It allows water to move up through it, and it breathes and dries out naturally.
Not everything in this system is high-tech or expensive. A very important part of the system is the yoghurt pots or old margarine containers. The legs of furniture are stored in these, and that protects them from the dampness on the floor because the water is flowing. At night, just in case, we would move anything movable up onto the sofa.
This is how we sandbag our back door. We've done it like this so the cats can use the cat flap. At the back here, you've got a piece of plastic that's up against the door, which runs forward, and with the sandbags, this is full of sandbags under here, pressed hard up against the plastic. That's better than just using sandbags alone, because you've got a plastic membrane there that forms the final barrier to the water. Although flooding is a disaster, and we absolutely understand how people who are being flooded, at the moment or have been recently feel, it's desperate. If you're insured, it's more difficult if you're not, but if you're insured, ask your insurers if you can put the money not to replacing like for like, but use the same money to do things differently. You will find that future flooding is a lot less stressful. Things are back to normal more quickly, and you don't have all the worries that you had before. No skip outside your house. Everything carries on as normal very quickly.
But I'm ready.